the show that puts the FU in fun. It's the Mike Sasson Show live on the River's Edge. You're listening to us on www.riversedgepgh.com or on TuneIn Radio, or you're watching us right now on Facebook live from the Millvale Studios in beautiful Millvale, Pennsylvania. Again, follow us on Twitter at The Mike Sasson Show, Instagram on The Mike Sasson Show, or follow me personally at Mike Sasson. Again, my name is Mike Sasson. I am the host that will bring you nearly an hour of free entertainment. Make sure to thank me if you see me on the streets. Right over there across this beautiful studio is producer extraordinaire Alex Clemens.
Hello.
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 All right, that's it. That's the end of the show.
Really? I wanted to just sing the rest of it. Hello, hello, it is today, it's hello. We are going to do an internet radio show. Hello. Someday we're going to write the musical version of the Mike Sasson Show.
Oh, God.
It's going to be we're going to do it on Broadway. We're going to get the same people that did Hamilton. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be a moment in time that everyone will soon forget. Also, later on the show, we got Banachek.
Woo!
He is a world-renowned mentalist. He's been on NBC. He's been on CNN. He's worked with Joe Rogan on Sci-Fi. Cool thing about him is he's very similar to a Penn Teller in a sense that he completely admits he has no psychic abilities. That's why you never see the show The Mentalist, where it's more or less he just uses his senses to a point to where it seems like, whoa, you have something. But the cool thing about it is then he kind of explains how he does it. This is how cool this guy is. He spent 4 years with scientists, and he got the scientists he convinced them that he had psychic abilities. Like scientists who did studies and stuff like that.
And this is when he was young.
Yeah, this is when he was young.
Really young.
Yeah, he had people convinced that he had psychic abilities. And then after 4 years, he admitted, he's like, no, I have no psychic abilities. Here's how I did it.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass. That you could make scientists look dumb. So we're going to ask how he did that so that possibly me and Alex can make scientists look dumb. Also, we're going to go over, to me, tonight, again, we're talking about hair. Alex mentioned last week she's getting a new hair color. She got it.
I did, yeah.
So
I didn't lie.
You didn't lie, so she got that. So we're going to go into that. Plus, we're going to go into, because I'll be honest with you, I think I'm like most dudes. I have no idea what the heck to do with my hair. So I'm going to be showing some really good-looking dudes and really good-looking hairstyles. So Alex is going to help me figure out if maybe one of those cool hairstyles could work for me. And also, I want you to comment on below on the Facebook Live, even if it's after the fact. I like it even when it's after the fact, which brings me...
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, which brings me to this point. Last week, we talked about the fact that Alex has a few tattoos, some cool ones. I think you said you have a dinosaur on your ankle, right?
A little T-Rex, yeah.
Little T-Rex. Also, you have like a Dalai Lama quote on your your side and stuff like that.
I do indeed.
You have a couple ones. Now, as I mentioned before, we read all the comments. So even if this is after the fact and you're not watching us live, we love to read them and everything like that. And if we see one that's cool, we're going to bring it up. Case in point, your mother, who I absolutely adore, because usually about a day or two after, she watches the show and then comments afterwards. I think it's...
I always do the thing where when she's watching the show, sometimes I just know in my head that she's watching and I end up calling her, not on purpose. I'm just I have to call her for something, and then she's always watching the show when I call her.
Maybe you're psychic.
Yeah, definitely.
You should talk to Banachek about that, because there's $1 million prize if you prove that you have psychic abilities.
Yeah.
So how about this? When he calls up and we talk to him,
we'll test it.
You bring that up. You say, hey, I know when my mom is watching the show, is that psychic ability?
And he will say, absolutely not. You're crazy.
Yeah, you don't get that. But what if he sits there and goes, you're right, here's the $1 million.
Ah, that was the simplest test, and you passed.
Yes, there you go.
Way to go.
But one of the things she said, which I thought was interesting, is you talked about that the reason why she knew about you kind of hid your tattoo for a little while.
My first one, yeah.
Yeah, your first one. And then she saw it, and then she said she was she was kind of not cool with it, but kind of just brushed it off. Yeah. And then you said your dad was a little bit more agitated about the tattoo.
He just shows it more.
Okay.
He
just shows his emotions.
He's not afraid to tell you.
Yeah, he's just like, I think what was the quote again? What the piss were you doing or something?
Yeah, that's usually what he says to me.
Yeah.
Anytime.
If he was like a sitcom dad, that would be like his catchphrase.
Yeah, exactly. He is a sitcom dad.
He is Alan Clemens, sitcom dad. Anyways, the thing that got me was the quote where your mom said the reason why she was actually upset with the fact that you got the tattoos had nothing to do with looks, had nothing to do with anything. She was upset.
It had a little bit to do with looks.
Okay,
We'll
but
just
the
say that.
major reason she said, according to the text, and maybe you talked to her later, was she said that number one, she was worried about the toxicity of said tattoos or piercings, which, by the way, I don't see. Do you have the rings in the nose right now?
Yes.
Okay. From this distance, I don't see it.
I can't take them out.
Oh, okay. But also the toxicity. And two, she was worried about your chakra.
Yeah.
Now, explain to the people who are chakra-less
So when
or do not understand the chakra thing, what exactly was she talking about?
When you texted me last night that you wanted to talk about this, I was very hesitant about it because I know that I won't be able to explain it in terms where people might actually believe what I'm saying.
Okay.
And because I don't know enough information about it. So I called my parents and I said, hey, Mike wants to talk about this. And my mom was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But so I was like, can you just give me kind of like a background or maybe like a simple explanation for it so that I can then say that on the show and maybe sound a little bit like I know something.
Mm-hmm.
So their simple explanations still didn't make complete sense to me, but kind of. So I asked my dad too to text me stuff. So basically, here's a little kind of gist about it. Okay, so basically, all of us are made up of energy. We have I think it's called etheric energy body. So etheric energy refers to a type of very fine matter or substance. It is all around us and it permeates all physical matter and space throughout the universe. So everything is made up of energy. We are all made up of energy.
We're all made of stars. That's true. Like when they like that, what's that guy? Moby. Moby had a song where we're all made of stars. That's actually true. We're all made from stuff from space.
No, it's not from space. It's just energy matter.
Well,
and so it all vibrates at different frequencies.
Okay.
So if you're vibrating at a different frequency, it affects certain things. So this is how my dad kind of tried to put it. I don't know if this will actually make sense. So we all have this body that's made up of energy, kind of like a balloon. So when you cut into or puncture that body, you create a rip or tear in the energy. So that rip collapses the chakras or block them. So you have a bunch of different chakras. They all pertain to different things. So you have your mind, different ones. So basically, you can fix these chakras to a certain extent by doing energy work on them. So it changes the vibrations.
But why were they concerned that tattoos would hurt this?
So tattoos are more of one thing. Okay, so it's kind of like acupuncture. You know how acupuncture, they put needles in very specific different places.
Okay.
So with the piercings, they're putting those needles into specific places, but they don't stay there. That would mess everything up. So the piercings, the fact that they're staying there, that messes up. Tattoos is more of the toxicity thing. So we don't completely know what is in the ink of tattoos. It's not a universal thing, and we don't completely know what's in it. And some of the things that are in it though aren't very healthy to have stay in your body.
So the toxicity was more about the tattoos, and the chakra was more about the piercings.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Does your mom have pierced ears?
Yes.
So that doesn't affect chakras.
I don't know. I'm not completely sure.
Okay.
This is why I took I don't really know much about it. So I feel that's the thing.
So really,
that's why I was a little bit hesitant about talking about it, because I don't want people to be like, oh, that's crazy. This is nonsense, because I don't really know enough about it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then when we'll close it out. Ultimately, what percentage of your parents' dismay at your tattoos and piercings were the chakras and the toxicities, and how much was the fact that you just put something on your body that it's going to be very difficult for you to get rid of?
I would say about 70-30.
70-30 in favor of the chakras?
Yeah, so 70-30 would be, the fact that it's harming my health.
See, to me, that's what I was more interested in, was the fact that if I would ever get a tattoo, The biggest thing that my mom or my dad or siblings would be upset with would be the fact that I got something that I can't get rid of that quick.
Right.
And it's almost like the same thing as if I had a kid. Tattoos and kids are kind of in the same boat with the Sasson family. It's just something you can never get rid of. And so, but the fact that it was more about, things like chakras that people don't really talk about a lot, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, I think my parents are a little more worried about like my physical well-being and me being around for a while, as opposed to there's something on her body that I might not like. My dad said in the end of like his description, he said, "So my advice: ask your father before you have anything like this done. You may be affecting your health in more ways than you think." And I was like, "Thanks, Dad. Love you."
There you go.
So they just care about my health. I don't think most people don't know things like that either, you know?
That's right.
So
that's why we do this show.
That's why we have parents.
To educate the people out there. Well, some people don't have chakra and parents, chakra educated parents. That's why we have to have this show, Alex.
My mom's listening now.
Okay.
So I hope that explanation was okay.
Well, the reason why I wanted to bring it up was because she put in her comment that she said, well, you didn't like you had to answer some hard questions. Well, Ms. Clemens, guess what? Alex now has answered said questions.
Yeah, we do have a couple comments. So
Sure.
One of my old dance teachers, she commented.
Okay.
Her name is Stacy.
Okay.
She said, "Alan is definitely a sitcom dad.
There you go.
Everything that he does.
He has a laugh track.
The laugh track is just my mom, because she's the only one who thinks he's funny."
There you go.
And then she also said that Alex's parents are the coolest parents on the planet and are smart, uber smart.
Uber smart, like
So
they
she's
know where
backing
things
me
are.
up,
Like
yeah.
they're robot smart. Go ahead.
I don't think they're robot smart.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Basically the same thing.
All right. Good.
But yeah,
deal.
that's all the comments.
Awesome. Okay, moving on. As we mentioned before, with the hair, what would you describe your hair color as right now?
Well, it looks really blue greenish on camera, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Just a lighter blonde, but it's very ashy, and the way to make it ashy is to put like a toner on it so that it's like a
toner from like printers?
No.
Okay.
It like counteracts the colors.
All right.
So like if you didn't want it to be orangey, you would put like a blue or a purple toner on it. So it's like the opposite of the color wheel. You know what I mean?
Well, let's give a shout out to the people that did it. Who did it?
Her name is Heather.
Okay.
She works at a salon called Buccini Hair Salon. I actually just tagged her in our post on Instagram. I posted our picture. She took a picture of me before and after, and it's actually really cool to look at. To me, it's cool. I don't know if anyone else.
So right now, that picture is on Instagram.
Yeah.
Awesome. So check it out. It's the Mike Sasson Show
I'm
Instagram
gonna do a little
page.
hair twirl.
There, go do a little hair twirl.
That's like those shampoo commercials.
Well, we need a little bit better than that. Well, okay. Let's just come on, really. There you go. Awesome.
I don't want to like bump anything in here, because if you do that, everything's just done.
Yeah, we might not have a show because of hair twirling.
Exactly.
But to be honest with you, totally worth it. Now to more important things. My hair. One thing I have to be honest with you is I've had the same haircut since I was like in second grade.
I don't think anyone would be surprised by that.
Yeah, same haircut. If you could check like O'Hara Elementary, 1984, Mike Sasson's haircut, same damn haircut. You check 1989, Dorseyville Middle School, same damn haircut. University of Connecticut, 1999, same damn haircut. So I'm getting up there in age, but I think I'm getting into the sexiest age. So what I have done is I Googled last night. I literally put in great haircuts for dudes my age.
Okay, I was gonna see what you said. If you said like older men or like what
I actually Googled. I said great haircuts for 40-year-old dudes. Which, by the way, lots of the favorite stars that you have, especially, are all either my age or older.
I do have, a little bit of a thing for older men.
Which is why you do this show. Boom, win,
Ew.
victory. That's right. Disgusting women.
Do it for the other older men.
Do it for the other older men. All right. So let's quickly go through some of the pictures. You tell me which picture you're putting up so I can look at it as well.
Okay, this is Pierce.
Okay, what do you like best about his haircut? Do you think I could pull it off?
I think that could be a good... See, I think that your haircut, you kind of like... Where's the part at? what you doing? I think a more defined part would be very beneficial for you.
Here's the problem with the more defined part is I'm starting to get a little bit of like the home run alley right here.
Yeah, just like Pierce has the same thing.
Okay. So you think Pierce would be a good one to go with?
I think you could do that.
Okay.
Because it's not too much different than what you have now.
Okay.
Well, I have to show you again so that people know what we're talking about. Really show off that hair.
There you go.
Yeah.
I should almost
give
put
a little twirl.
I should put it down so the hair is. Yeah. See, now I'm putting the hair. The
headphones
down.
really made a difference.
There you go. That was me doing the hair twirl. So okay. So you're thinking Pierce Brosnan, Remington Steele. That would be a good look for me because we're both Irish. So I think that I got the Irish hair going. Okay. Who's next? Who's another guy?
I just titled this thing DILFs.
DILF. Okay. Okay. Which one do you got up right now?
This is the guy. It has below him the male thinning hair and gray hairstyles. That's what you're looking up.
Okay.
I don't actually know his name.
Okay. But so which one are you looking at? And what do you like about it?
I kind of like the way that he does the salt and pepper look a little bit differently.
Okay.
So he's a little more like streaky gray in there, which I kind of prefer, like bigger chunks of gray.
Okay.
Which I like, but you don't really have a lot of gray hair, so that's not really applicable.
The thing that I liked, he went with the longer hair in the back.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a good. No.
No. Okay.
I'm saying no for that one.
All right. Well, give me another one.
Okay, let's do George Clooney.
Or George Clooney's always big with the Julius Caesar haircut.
Yeah, he is. Which I think that, no offense, I think your head's a little big for that look.
It's not offense. I have the largest head in North America.
I don't know how your mother birthed you.
Well, and I think that's why we have 8 kids is because after me, kid just walked out. The kid just literally just strolled out.
That's horrible.
Well,
that's absolutely horrible.
It's called science. Okay, who else you got?
Okay, let's see who we got here. The guy with glasses.
Okay, the black and white one.
He's a good-looking dude.
All right, what you think I could pull off that haircut?
I think he went gray early. Just so we clarify, I don't think that he's as old as we think he is.
Mm-hmm. But he went more with the spiky hair, like it's more up.
I feel like that's a little bit too like young of a look for you.
Really?
I don't know. It's
you want older looks?
No, it's just I feel like it would look like you were trying too hard to like look younger.
Yeah, I have to not try. Go ahead.
Right, exactly. That's why I feel like you shouldn't do something that's too drastic.
Okay.
If you've had the same haircut your whole life, you can't just like crazy change it and then people be okay with it.
No.
That's not how it works.
That's exactly.
How about this guy with blue eyes?
Blue eyes. I even labeled him Blue Eye Guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said that.
All right.
He has nice eyes. That's all I can really pay attention to.
Okay.
His hair looks like the guy from every single box of men's hair dye.
Okay.
I bet that's this dude.
I bet you. Yeah, I mean, good looking dude. Let me ask you a question. Could I pull off the hairstyle though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's another one. It's not really too different from your normal haircut. It's just a little bit more of a defined part.
Well, let me ask you this question. If I got contact lenses for blue eyes, would that help?
No.
Okay.
I thought we were just talking about hair here.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, I'm just saying I think Blue Eye Guy, is helped out by the blue eyes.
I think with gray hair, it definitely helps. It looks nice. It's like a nice contrast.
Okay.
But blue contacts for you. I used to have blue contacts when I was younger. I looked like a robot.
That's cool. You were robot smart. Okay, go with the next one.
That's cool. Ryan Reynolds.
All right. Can I pull off that one?
Yeah. Also pretty much similar to what your normal haircut is, a little shorter on the sides. Maybe that's what you should do. Maybe go shorter on the sides.
I think I need to go shorter on the sides. That seems to be like
a little, because it's kind of even all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like shorter on the sides would be nice.
Okay.
I wonder if there's just a bunch of old guys listening right now, and they're like, oh, what should I do? What does Alex want me to do?
I hear you. Now, here's the thing. Ryan Reynolds and Joe Manganiello, whatever his name is from Mount Lebanon.
Great.
Both are literally exactly the same age as me. So that's why I picked those two. Within 2 weeks.
You picked the most mugshot picture of Joe Manganiello.
I know. I didn't want him to look good. I didn't want him to look good at all.
He still looks good. You cannot possibly make him not look good. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
His haircut, again, shorter on the sides, longer on the top. That's the new thing now, you know?
I think that is. I think I got to go with that. Now let's go with your king.
I saved him for last.
I saved him.
You realize I put him in his own complete category.
Okay.
Let's go to
the Paul Rudd.
The Paul Rudd.
What do you think of the Paul Rudd?
Okay, so the top of your hair is kind of very similar to his, but it's long. His is longer. I'm thinking no.
You're thinking no.
I think you should leave that one to Paul Rudd.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to go because we got Banachek. We're going to give him a holler. We're going to take a break. When we come back, one of the world's greatest mentalists. He should know this already if he's psychic, but he isn't because he says that's bunk. We'll talk to him. Also, comment down below on Facebook Live about what you think my hair color should be or what my hairstyle should be. And also, what do you think about Alex's too? Because you know what? She likes that. All right. It's the Mike Sasson Show. We'll be right back with Banachek.
Listen up for some sweet pizza discounts. The River's Edge is partnering with Frank's Pizza and Chicken to offer you 10% off your ZA. That's short for pizza.
Seriously? ZA?
What?
Anyway, mention you heard this ad and Frank's will give you 10% off your order of $15 or more.
Oh my god, have you tried their famous buffalo chicken pizza?
Oh, don't even get me started. Can you name all 4 Frank's locations?
Millville, obviously. Troy Hill, Shaler, and North Hills.
Gold star. Anyway, support the River's Edge Radio Network by ordering from Frank's Pizza and Chicken the next time you get hungry for some ZA. And don't forget to mention you heard this ad so you get your 10% off. Go to frankspizzachicken.com for more info.
Offer good for a limited time. Order mostly $15 or more before taxes. Cannot be combined with other discounts or offers. Other legal jargon and whatnot.
Hi, I'm Mike Storr, host of the Awesome Cast, which you can hear right here on River's Edge Radio. We're talking tech, getting geeky every week with people from Pittsburgh in the industry. Go check us out, awesomecast.net, or listen to us right here on River's Edge Radio, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. after Funny Money.
Hey, this is Matt Geica, your host of Geik's Got Game, 8 a.m. every Friday here on the River's Edge. I'll take a peek behind the sports media curtain, zoom out for the big picture, and as always, obsess over the details of the sports, teams, and players we love or love to hate. It's Geik's Got Game every Friday at 8 a.m. on the River's Edge.
You're listening to The River's Edge. It's the Mike Sasson Show. You're listening live at www.riversedgepgh.com or on TuneIn Radio, or after the fact, you're listening on one of the major podcast formats, either SoundCloud, iTunes, or Google Play, or you're watching us right now on Facebook Live. Again, my name's Mike Sasson. I'm the hostess with the mostest. That is Alex Clemens, the producer extraordinaire here at the Millvale Studios in Millvale, Pennsylvania. And this weekend, if you're looking for something to do, there's an incredible thing coming to the Oaks Theater in Oakmont, Pennsylvania, a beautiful theater. I've performed there on several occasions doing stand-up comedy. This Saturday, 7:30, May 27th, is Banachek. He is one of the world's greatest mentalists. And you know what? We've got him here right on the show. Banachek, how you doing this morning?
I am good. A little tired, been grueling, been on a tour, but I am doing very well and very excited about this new show.
Awesome. Cool deal. Now, doing a little bit of research on you, first and foremost, you say you are a mentalist, which the way you described it at one time was you've learned to use your 5 senses and heighten them to a point to where you give the illusion of having a 6. So
Yeah, it's
Go
not
ahead.
even necessarily that I have heightened them. What it is basically I take my 5 own senses, I create the illusion of a 6. David Copperfield does illusions with women. Chris Angel does illusions on the street. Other people do informations with lions and tigers, like Siegfried and Roy used to do. I do illusions with information. I take information and I create illusions so it looks like I'm reading their minds. I could say I'm a psychic, but I'm not a psychic. Psychics basically claim that they have this ability, this power, which is what I did at one point. I convinced scientists for 4 years that I could actually bend and move objects with my mind in the 80s when McDonnell Douglas of McDonnell Douglas Aircraft gave $500,000 to Washington University to study psychic phenomena. And I went in and I convinced them I could bend metal with my mind. And the reason I did that was for years, scientists lamented there's no evidence of ESP and the proper scientific controls. And they said the reason is lack of funding. It was my contention. It had absolutely nothing to do with the lack of funding. It had to do with them going with a pro-biased opinion. They were going in believing, and therefore they weren't using proper science to find out if it was real. They were just basically documenting what they already believed. And then the other thing is that they thought they were too smart to be fooled. So as a result, they wouldn't go out and get somebody who could actually detect the trickery like a magician, because they had these PhDs. They're like, oh, these magicians couldn't fool us. And we did. For 4 years, we convinced them we were genuine.
That's incredible. Now, where did you learn to do this? How did you? Because it said you were self-taught. There was a book? Was it just you just picked up certain things? How did you figure out how to do this?
Well, I picked up a book by the amazing Randy. It was called The Magic of Uri Geller. Now, Uri Geller was a psychic at the time who convinced the world and Stanford Research Institute that he could bend and move objects with his mind. I picked up this book, and this book basically said that the truth about Uri Geller was that Geller was nothing more than a magician. Now, I had never known that because all the adults around me had told me that Geller was genuine. So when I read the book, I got a little bit upset reading this book because I realized very quickly just because people are in a position of authority doesn't mean everything they say is absolutely true. But it was from that book, there was a method to bend a nail. Now, I had heard that with Geller, you actually saw the metal bending, which is not true when I found out, and I actually did finally see Geller. So I created all these methods. And my forte really has been able to create things. I've worked with Chris Angel on over 100 episodes of television, and I helped create the magic for Chris. Basically, we sit in a room, we come up with over 300 tricks in 2 weeks, and then we get 2 weeks off, and it becomes my job, along with Chris, to figure out in those 2 weeks how we're going to do those effects. And then we go out and we deliver 1.5 shows every single week. To put that in perspective, David Blaine had 6 months to a year to do his last show, which is pretty much the typical for most magicians. So I'm really, really good. If you give me a concept, an idea, or something you want to do, I can come up with 2-3 methods to actually do those, to make it look like it's really, truly real or really, truly psychic.
Again, completely amazing. Again, May 27th, the Oaks Theater, 7:30. It's an all ages show. So if you're with your kids for the Memorial Day weekend, anything like that, you can go out to Oakmont, beautiful theater. Obviously, a lot of great restaurants around there, and have a great time doing it. Now, my producer Alex has a question for you. Now, Alex, you asked me this question. I wanted you to ask Banachek this one.
Hey, how's it going?
I am doing fine. Great to hear your voice.
It's much better than Mike's, right?
Yeah.
It's better than Mike's, and it's certainly much better than mine this morning.
So I wanted to ask you, you said you've been doing this, since you were very young. Are there any illusions that you started doing since you were young that you still do today, or that you've kind of perfected and changed a little bit, but still pretty much have the same concept and do it in your shows today?
I do a lot of things that I did from when I was young because I didn't know there were any magicians that did. I didn't know there was a category of magic called mentalism. I just knew there were people that con people doing tricks.
Yeah.
So for my very first show, I created a whole bunch of different tricks. Some of them I still do today. In fact, in the show at the theater, I'm going to be performing a Russian roulette with knives. And it's
Ooh.
exactly the same trick that I did back then, exactly the same way that I did back then. I am the first one to do a Russian roulette with knives. Since that time, there's been a lot of people that have tried it. They have failed. They've taken their hand, they put them right through a knife, and a knife's gone through their hand. So I do this every single night, and I've never had a mishap yet. But it's the illusion of danger that I do. When I perform my Buried Alive, I'm the first one to be buried alive, 6 feet under the ground, dig my way to the surface. Since that time, there's people that have tried to emulate me. There's even a guy out of Pittsburgh who tried to do it and ended up dying, and I feel bad about that.
Wow.
But had they have called me, I would have told them. It's the illusion of danger. So there's a lot of those tricks that I do back then. The metal bending I came up with way back in my very, very early days when I was starting out, and I still do those things today. If you see any magician performing metal bending, they're using my techniques. I created one that's a twist, one where the time bends. So there's multiple things in that. So yeah, there's an awful lot of stuff that I did back in those days. And I'm sure I've refined it and perfected it through the years and changed it slightly. I couldn't tell you exactly how unless I had a videotape from back then. I mean, I lived just outside of Pittsburgh. I grew up in Washington, Pennsylvania. I graduated in Trinity High School. And I was bending so much silverware that the kids were stealing all the silverware from the cafeteria at Trinity. And I got in trouble for that. They went to plastic silverware until I graduated. I figured a way to make the school bell go off early so we could all get out of school early, and I pretended I was doing it psychically, and I got in big trouble for that one. But I was kind of like this weird kid. I was abandoned when I was a young kid, and I was basically socially inept. I had 3 jobs while I was in high school just so I could finish high school. So yeah, again, I was a socially inept kid that sort of brought me out of my shell. And I started doing this in 1976 at the Washington Mall in Washington, Pennsylvania. And even though the mall is closed, if you can sneak in, to this day, I did a Russian roulette with acid in my very first show as well. And that's where you have 5 beakers, 4 of them are water, and 1 is nitric acid, which looks identical to the water, and they're in the beakers. I'm blindfolded, facing the other way. They mix them up, and I say, give me number 1, and I drink it, and I leave a little bit in the beaker. Give me number 4, and I drink it, and I keep going until there's 1 left. Then I remove the blindfold. I pour some zinc filings and all the other ones, the little bit of water that I had left in the others, and finally in the nitric acid. And it reacts and it overflows. And where the tiled floor is right there, there's a huge stain in the very middle of the mall. And a few years ago, I came back to Pittsburgh, and a friend of mine, Mike Super, a magician in Pittsburgh, said to me, "Hey, it's still there. I managed to sneak in and see it." So I snuck into the mall and I looked, and that stain is still on that floor at the Washington Mall in the very center.
That's awesome. Now, quick question. You said that if someone were to call you, like someone passed away trying to do one of your illusions, do you feel that you could teach people if they wanted to, and you had enough time to bend metal and to do all these tricks, or do you have to have some innate talent or anything like that, or do you
No.
think that, like, okay, go ahead.
To do it well, you don't have to have it. You do sort of have to have a little bit of talent. It's like playing the piano. Some people can take lessons and they never learn how to play well. Other people just automatically play it well. So it's that same kind of thing. I have DVDs out for magicians. I've written many books for magicians. David Blaine opened his second TV special with one of my effects. Penn and Teller, if you ever see that bullet catch, I created the method for that. I used to do the bullet catch way back in the day. So I create these things, but as to whether people can do it well or not, it depends on the individual. Just like driving, some people can drive well, some people can't. In fact, it appears most people can't because they get road rage nowadays. But yeah, and I'm on the road all the time, so I see it constantly. But yeah, you can actually teach people how to do these things, but as to whether they'll do it well or not, that really depends on the individual themselves.
Now you have a $1 million prize for anybody that can prove that they have psychic ability. So obviously at this point you haven't paid it out. So at this point I almost feel that you claim that you're not completely shutting it off. You're not saying that there's no such thing. You've just never seen it. So the people that you have come up to you and tried to prove to you that they have psychic ability, I can only feel they come into two categories. Either they might have something wrong with them mentally, or they're con men. What percentage do you find of people that claim that they have psychic abilities have a little bit of a screw loose, or ultimately are just trying to con people?
Well, I think there definitely is another category in there. There's really three categories, because we just always say they've got a screw loose because we want to make fun of them, but that's not exactly true. You have people that truly believe they have an ability, and it doesn't mean they have a screw loose. And we got to be really careful when we test these people, because we do get a lot of mentally ill people that come out. So when we were testing, we have to be sort of handle them with baby gloves, and we sort of try to wean those people out. There was an application process. They have to fill out this application process. And through the application process, we could usually kind of tell if the person's mentally ill a little bit or not, or if they're overly obsessive compulsive or whatever it may be. There are the con men. The con men usually don't come out for the $1 million challenge because they know they're going to be caught. You're not going to have what the Sylvie Brown, the James Von Proggs, the John Edward. Those people would not come out for the $1 million challenge. They're already making $1 million. The Long Island Mystic, she's making millions of dollars. Why would she want to come after this? It's not going to happen, because all of these abilities, once we put them under proper scientific controls, really, when we sit down, and what happens is in that application process, they tell us what their ability is. They tell us what they think would be a fair test, which is never really a fair test because it's not science. It's always outside of those boundaries. And so we try to work with them to come up with a test that kind of fits their ability, but is also science at the same time. And there's two sections to it. There is the preliminary challenge and then the formal challenge. The preliminary challenge is more of an observant part of the challenge. And when you take both of these tests and put them together, we usually try to have it about 1 in a million. So you get the con man, but they don't come out. The people that truly believe they have an ability, whether they're mentally ill or whether they're not and just simply self-deceived, those are the ones that usually would come out for the $1 million challenge. So now we end up with the people who aren't mentally ill but truly believe that they have this ability. And I've had friends, like a friend of mine by the name of Ray Hyman. He was a scientist, and he started out as a skeptic. He started doing tarot card readings just for a joke, for a lark, for fun. And after a while, he started believing that what he was doing was genuine, truly believed it. And it wasn't until a friend turned to him and said, "Ray, you know what? You're a skeptic. How about you take a reading that you give somebody and start giving that exact same reading to other people? No, it can't fit everybody. You know that. But give it to other people and see what kind of feedback." And he found out that that reading that he gave to one individual turned out to be more accurate for all these other people. And it was like, oh, wait, something else must be going on here. This can't be psychic because they can't all have the same reading. But he realized he was just getting all this positive feedback. People were reading into what he was saying, and he was only getting the positive feedback. He wasn't getting any of the negative feedback. So even a skeptic can end up falling in that category of being self-deceived. The $1 Million Challenge isn't going on right at this moment. It's on hiatus. It may come back out again. It was with the James Randi Educational Foundation. It still is with the James Randi Educational Foundation. But it was a great tool for us to teach critical thinking, because the Randi Foundation is all about critical thinking, looking at these things in an interesting way and really using proper science before you just jump on a bandwagon and believe something because it's sort of a pro-biased thing, or so it's sort of going along with what you already believe in. I would have people come out, like I had one guy who told me that every time he's in the presence of ghosts, his mustache curls. And I said, well, how are we going to prove that? He says, well, first you have to get a real ghost. And I was like, wait a minute, if I can get a real ghost, then I would get the $1 million for finding a real ghost.
Yeah.
I had another person who told me that they can actually stop earthquakes before they happen. So I said to him, how are we going to test this? He says, well, first of all, you get a genuine psychic. I said, well, back off a minute. If I can find a genuine psychic, they would get the $1 million. But let's say that psychic doesn't want the $1 million. They're a billionaire. They couldn't care less. Where do we go from there? He says, well, I'm going to predict an earthquake. Your psychic will validate my prediction. And then I will stop the earthquake that I predicted 6 months before it happens. So I said, wait, you're going to stop an earthquake you're going to predict? He said, absolutely right. And then the Haiti earthquake happened. Never heard from him again. We had a lady that said she could make people pee on demand. So we put one of our people in a very big Depends and had the psychic concentrate. Of course, nothing happened at all. But a lot of these people truly believe
what a terrible superpower to have.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, unless you want to embarrass people, yes, absolutely, yes.
That'd be the worst, like a Marvel action figure guy, the guy who can make you pee on demand. So if like bank robbers came in, he'd be like, "How are you going to stop them? Watch this, boom, boom, boom," and then they all just run out with.
Yeah, Captain P on demand. That would be a great. I just want to see what the outfit and the logo looks like. You know
what? Here's the thing. We'll option that. We'll write the script, and I think we could sell that because I think that'd be a good superhero.
I think you could have a few of those type of superheroes all together, and between them they solve crime and stop it.
There you go. Again, this Saturday, May 27th. October, he might be doing something else, but in May, he's going to be at the Oaks Theater in Oakmont, Pennsylvania. Get tickets at the Oaks Theater ticket office or at the website for the Oaks Theater. Again, Banachek, thank you very much for coming on the show. Again, have a great time back home in Pittsburgh. And again, everybody come out there. If you've seen these YouTube videos, it's incredible what he can do, but I appreciate you coming on the show.
It's my pleasure. It's going to be fun for everyone. If you like magic, it's fantastic. If you like skepticism, it's going to be fantastic. If you just like, autobiographical shows, it's that. It's all those things mixed into a really entertaining night.
Absolutely. May 27th, Saturday. Thank you very much. Again, it's the Mike Sasson Show. We'll be right back with the big question. It's the Mike Sasson Show on the River's Edge. Bye.
Would you be interested in developing conscious choice? Would you be interested in creating reactions rather than waiting for one to come? Would you be interested in combining serendipity and synchronicity? Would you be interested in making 1 + 1 = 3? Would you be interested in finding out about full impact mindfulness? If so, I challenge you to join myself, Jim Ellermeyer, a cognitive behavioral health therapist, every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the River's Edge, where we will challenge you to allow us to help you help yourself to fully participate in your life. Let the adventure begin.
Hi, I'm Mike Sasson, host of the Awesome Cast, which you can hear right here on River's Edge Radio. We're talking tech, getting geeky every week with people from Pittsburgh in the industry. Go check us out, awesomecast.net, or listen to us right here on River's Edge Radio, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. after Funny Money.
Would you be interested in developing conscious choice? Would you be interested in creating reactions rather than waiting for one to come? Would you be interested in combining serendipity and synchronicity? Would you be interested in making 1 + 1 = 3? Would you be interested in finding out about full impact mindfulness? If so, I challenge you to join myself, Jim Ellermeyer, a cognitive behavioral health therapist, every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the River's Edge, where we will challenge you to allow us to help you help yourself to fully participate in your life. Let the adventure begin.
It is the Michael Sasson Show. You are listening to the River's Edge live at www.riversedgepgh.com, or you're listening on TuneIn Radio, or you're watching on Facebook Live, or you're listening on one of the several major podcast formats we put this show on: iTunes, Google Play, or SoundCloud. Again, follow us on all the social media wonders of the world. We have our own Instagram page, our own Twitter account, the Mike Sasson Show, and I personally have my page. It's just at Mike Sasson. That was Banachek. Very, very interesting stuff. Really cool stories. Go check out stuff of his YouTube clips. Again, he's worked with all the big magicians. He's incredible. He's going to be at the Oaks Theater this Saturday. Now, again, comment away on the Facebook Live. We will read them right now, or we will comment later on, like we did with Alex's mom's comment about her chakras. Now, we have a few comments.
Okay, yeah. First of all, my mom said that she justified her ear piercing. She got them pierced when she was very young, so she didn't know any of this stuff.
Oh, okay. So the question is, if she knew about that stuff, would she have pierced ears? Sounds like no.
Probably not.
All right, there you go.
She also, my mom, votes for Joe Manganiello for your hair.
Okay.
She said it's the closest look, so it's not too crazy of a change. He also has gray in the same areas that you do.
Okay.
So I feel like
I think maybe that's
and the beard. Bring the beard back. That's what I always say.
Bring the beard back.
Bring the beard back.
All right. I think that might be the Western PA look. So
I vote I always like if it's a decision for men, like, oh, should I have a beard? Should I not? That's how they talk. But I always vote yes, beard. Yes, beard.
All right. So I will make an announcement.
By next week, you'll have a full beard, anyways.
Well, I will not. No more shaving until next week. We'll see what happens. We'll see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. All right?
Sounds good.
So watch next week to see Mike with a little bit of a beard.
My mom said she also likes my hair, but she needs to see it closer too. She hasn't seen me yet, so.
Who doesn't love Alex's hair? Alex's hair is going to have her own show. Go ahead.
So a couple people said that they needed to see your current hair, a little up closer. So I posted a nice picture of you.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah.
There is a nice picture of me?
No, it's the one that I took. I mean, it's nice,
Yeah.
But
considering it's not nice, it's just nice of Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Roger Moore died.
Whoa, James Bond.
Yeah. My mom said, just got breaking news that Roger Moore died, which is odd since you showed a picture of the other James Bond.
Well, someone put bubble wrap on him. Because we got to make sure you're protected.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to kill him. That's just,
what the hell does that mean?
It means I remember one time when Prince died and when Michael Jackson died, someone put bubble wrap on Stevie Wonder because he's the only one left. So I thought that was funny.
Terry Jones says that more people are watching this live than listening to Q92.9.
There is a good chance of that, Terry.
And the Mike Sasson Show rocks. He also said that.
It doesn't it? It just totally does rock. It's fun. I told you yesterday puts the FU in fun. It really does. And I'm just
that's a ridiculous word. Okay.
Right.
Last one. Stacy also said that your hair is way longer now than in the headshot that I took of you, and we need an impromptu selfie. So if you want to do that now, or maybe we can do it later, it's up to you.
You're the photographer. You're gonna take a quick picture of me.
No, we need a selfie. I'm too far away from you.
We need it right now.
I mean, if you want to do it right
okay,
now, or we can do it after.
We'll do it afterwards. But I'll make sure to put something up on the page. We'll do it. You can judge. You can comment on what hairstyle you think I should go with, and I will not shave for the next week.
Yeah,
I won't shave anywhere.
Super judge Mike. Yeah, and let him know what.
Yeah, super judge. Yeah, don't be really judgmental. By the way, I won't shave anywhere. That's the thing.
Ew.
I'm kidding.
What do?
Meaning back hair will be coming back.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to know.
Yeah, you do. Secretly, you do. But you know what? Also, you secretly want to do.
What's that?
You want to know about the big question.
Do you?
Yeah. So let's do the big question. Every week, because this show rocks, we ask questions that go deep into our subconscious. This isn't like simple stuff like, oh, you know, boxers or briefs like other shows do. That's crap. If anyone does that on their stupid show, bombing all over their shoes.
I would
have you
ask
ever
that
seen
question. It's an interesting question. I
isn't.
like it.
It isn't. It's
Which
terrible.
one do you wear?
Boxer briefs. All right.
Whoa. It tricked us all there.
That's what I do. Okay, here's the big question, Alex.
Go.
If someone could make a promise to you that tomorrow morning you would wake up as the perfect physical specimen to your exact specifications, your exact height, your exact weight, skin tone, everything absolutely perfect, and you would keep that look for as long as humanly possible, but you'd give up all of your education. You would not have a college degree anymore. You wouldn't have a high school degree anymore, and you could never earn it again. Would you take that deal?
See, there's a couple things to this question, Mike.
Okay.
Number one,
All right.
I am already my perfect physical specimen.
Okay. You think you're sitting there saying you are perfect. You
And
are
I'm excited to grow old and have those things change
okay.
because you get a different look.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get more beautiful with age.
Doubt it. But
Ugh. All right, I'm leaving. See ya.
the reason why I did this question is sometimes I sit there in my life and I go and I look at some people who have no education but make on super good looks, and I feel that they have pretty super cool lives.
But like, what are you saying? No education? Like, am I just like I am baby smart? Like,
No,
the
you
same...
keep the same intelligence, you just don't have the degrees. So if you ever wanted to apply for a job, you couldn't put that you are a high school or college graduate.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
I
you
didn't get
don't
that
all
from
of a
the
sudden
question.
become like the most attractive adult baby in the world.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you'd be the same intelligence. It's
Okay,
just,
I would totally do that because I feel like
okay, I love how you changed that immediately.
no, I'm saying like if I didn't think already that I was a perfect physical specimen,
you
and
would
I
not
wanted to do
change
that.
one iota of your, and I'm not talking about in terms of like loving yourself and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about if someone gave you the opportunity to sit there and say, okay, I'll change one aspect of your physicality, you'd say, no, I'm perfect.
Well, I mean, like there's things that like okay, maybe I would change, but they don't really bother me. Like
Yeah.
I don't have arches in my feet,
Okay.
and sometimes that hurts my back. But
All right.
like,
But that's
is
not,
that really a thing that I would care about changing? No,
Yeah.
it doesn't affect me that much.
All right.
And I don't think it would enhance my life at all.
okay.
Really.
Again, be ultra judgmental of Alex and point out things that she should want to change on the Facebook Live feed.
But also that like I feel like I didn't learn very much in school. I don't retain information very well, so I kind of am already going off of that lower level education.
It's so really it makes,
I like
it makes,
I feel like it's either way I'm pretty good.
see, it's tough because, you know, even at this stage in my life, being able to put on that you were a graduate of the University of Connecticut is a tool, and it's something that I'm very proud of that I can put on a resume for the rest of my life, and especially since the school's gotten way better since I left.
Well, I don't know. I feel like if anyone applied to my work that was from the University of Connecticut, now I would judge them because I know you.
Yeah.
You know, now I'd be like,
You-
I
you-
don't want someone like that working for me.
Why? Someone super intelligent and sexy?
No,
Yeah.
the
That's what-
opposite of that.
That's what absolutely we produce in hordes.
This is a weird show today.
Just insanely
Mike being
intelligent.
very self-confident today, and
No, I asked if I could change physical aspects. Like I you know, I mean, you always have that point to where when you go up to someone and you're just like, you know what, if I cut 50 pounds, how would my life change?
yeah,
If I was another 3 inches taller and I was 6'7" with the same football ability, would I have played in the NFL?
So, what's your answer to this question? Would you
It's
do it?
tough. No.
No. Who is also the magical genie that is making this happen?
It's a guy who lives on my street.
Oh, cool.
His name's
So you wouldn't
Ed.
do it. You would keep you now and your intelligence.
Well, my intelligence wouldn't change. I just wouldn't be a graduate of Fox Chapel and the University of Connecticut. I would just be like a guy.
Joe
I'd be a
Schmo.
really super good looking guy.
So you can model. You don't want to model. Do you think you'd be good at modeling? See, that's the thing. Even if you are super attractive, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can do anything with it. You know, you could go and like marry a rich dude, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that rich dude would want to be with you or that you could like model or anything. So even if you are super attractive, there are people that still like, they're not making money off of being super attractive because they don't know how.
I would so marry a rich dude. No,
I think everyone would.
yeah, everyone would love to marry. I don't know. I'd like to marry some rich woman who would keep me as a, and then I could move on to
Keep you as a what?
just like as like her boy toy, and I would like lounge around, and like that's one of the things like on Instagram you see all these like Instagram models who are like every day they're like taking pictures of where they are, and they're in like these beautiful locales, and it doesn't look like they have any means of support, but they just live these incredible like cool super amazing lives. And you're just like, obviously you're a complete moron because when you start talking on your Instagram, it makes me want to vomit. But you're living these incredible, insano lives. And because you're hot, and I'm like sitting there going, would I give up my, my degrees in order to be super insano hot? And it's a tough question. That's why I made it the big question.
Yeah.
That's what I do, Alex.
But those people, still those beautiful people on Instagram, they're making money from their Instagram. So they figured out how to do that.
Well, anyone can do that. I mean, if you're super insano hot and then people want to look at you and you say, hey, you should drink coffee, and then boom, making bank.
Yeah, maybe you should try and do it without being, how did you just put that?
Super insano hot.
Yeah.
Even though I am totally looking at the camera. It's what they teach us at UConn. All right, moving on. She's looking for a back door.
Please let me out of here.
All right. Okay. Next one. You can't go out of here because this is the segment in which we open up the Pandora's box, which is Alex's soul. It is bar thoughts and experiences.
That's freaking creepy.
Maybe y'all can relate. My style's dope any way that you slice it. It's a fresh cut, hope that you like it.
So we're talking.
By the way, who is that? So people can find
Left Field.
Left Field with the pizza song, right?
I don't think it's called the pizza song.
Well, if you Google it, you probably find it.
It's called Support Real Pizza.
Support real pizza, and also support real internet radio, and support the best producer in internet radio history, Alex Clemens, with her bar thoughts and experiences, brought to you by alcoholic beverages that men give her. Go ahead.
Sometimes women give them to me.
That's kind of hot.
So we're talking a lot about physical appearance in this whole show.
All right.
Besides, Banachek. But so I recently came across the body issue of ESPN. I didn't know this existed.
Oh, yeah. That's been around for like almost like 10 years.
Yeah. And I had no idea. If you guys don't know what it is, you should go check it out. There's just a bunch of like beautiful athletes just naked.
Yep.
So it made me think of nudes because all of the pictures that they have are very creative and like fun, and it makes you really want to look at them.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that they're like very insanely ripped athletes.
Yes.
But so I had a couple questions for you, Mike, and then I will answer the same questions myself, and they all have to relate to receiving and sending nudes.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I do this constantly.
So,
even to people that don't ask. People that people that I like sold something to back in 2004, suddenly I just sent them a picture of me naked.
Right. So do you think that it should be prompted? Do you think that like so for females and males, your opinion, okay, do you think that like a woman sending you an unprompted nude, do you think that's like, oh, or are you like, yeah?
I'd be like, yeah, that's amazing.
Even
awesome.
if you didn't say anything before and it was completely out of the blue, maybe not even from an expected person.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
Women have to understand that they have a magical force which is known as their nude body. It brings happiness. It's part of the nude body. It's an amazing, wonderful thing that ensures that the man or woman or whomever you send it to is going to have a great day. So if any woman would want to send me a nude photo of them, ultimately it would make it at least at worst an interesting day. And if especially, which is 90%, a beautiful picture, it would make it a wonderful day. If I got like in a car accident and got like a parking ticket and learned that I had been drafted into the Army, but beautiful woman sent me a nude photo, I'd call the day a wash. That's how the power of that's why when I hear that women, they talk about, oh, I have this, this stretch mark here and I have this in here. No man cares. No man cares. Nude women, awesome. Yes, so it's impromptu is even better because it's a surprise. It's awesome.
So when I was looking up articles about this and stuff, there was a lot of women who were like, I do not like surprise nudes from dudes. It's a little bit different, I feel.
It is hugely different.
But also a thing where I'm not like, why? Why would you do this? Unless you're sending me like a lot of just like back-to-back dick pics.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot, you know?
Okay.
But like I feel like if someone surprised me, I wouldn't be like super angry about
Even
it.
if
I think people react a little strongly.
Even if it was somebody like, okay, somehow at the bar, someone got your number. It might not even have been.
It's fun though.
But if someone just out of the blue just sat there and all of a sudden was nude in front of a mirror, you wouldn't be like, ew, this is gross. You'd be like, oh, okay.
I'd probably show it to everyone too. That was another thing in an article. I was reading this thing. This guy said it that like guys don't show their friends like nude pictures that girls send them. I was
Yes,
like,
they do.
Yeah, that's completely wrong.
Yes, they do.
I live with 3 guys.
Yeah, here's a little hint for ladies out there, and I guess men as well, because you've said this, because I've said this on other podcasts. If you send someone a nude photo just to save time, find out that person's 10 best friends and send them to them also, because they're eventually going to get those pictures anyway. So
okay, also, do you think that so if you hadn't seen this person naked before, do you think that nude picture ruined it?
No.
Do you think that the surprise of seeing that person in person naked for the first time is ruined by getting that nude?
No, it makes me. It's like that's one of the things with trailers in movies. Everyone always talks about, oh, don't show me so much. No, it makes me want to see the movie. If I like,
so it's
the
like
picture,
a trailer.
Exactly, it's a titty trailer. Anyways, that's what you have to know. That if someone sent me a nude photo and I'm like, I want to see that in live. And touch it, smell it, taste it, whatever, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. No way does it ruin it.
Okay.
Now, does it ruin the surprise of the dick when the guy sends you his woohoo?
I don't think so, because it's it's obviously different in person.
Okay.
It's not gonna look like how it is in the picture in person.
Has anyone
you might still be surprised in person.
Has any man ever sent you a nude photo in which his manhood did not look up to snuff, and you've sat there and been like,
I was disappointed in person after I saw the picture?
Yeah. Or just simply the picture you sat there and went, you know what, you should have taken a better picture than that.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Has a nude photo made it to where you like this guy and then you saw it and then you're just like, nope.
Like he didn't do it well enough.
Yeah.
No.
Or just flat out, you were just like,
I'm not super critical.
Mm.
But what do you think would, for you, Mike, make up the sexiest nude? So, like, maybe like place-wise, or like, I don't know, what's happening? Like, are things a little bit covered up? What's happening?
See, now you get to the point of, do I want to go with the Playboy type, or do I want to go with the hustler type picture?
Yes, that's basically the question. Because Playboy's a little classier. Just a little.
I'd want my future wife to send me the Playboy. I'd want the Miss Right Now to send me the Hustler. Let's just put it that way. I want if it's the future mother of my children, a little clase.
See, mine, I really want people to be creative. I think I definitely give points for creativity. Like when I'm looking at this body issue, I think about it a lot. Okay, so the ESPN body issue, they've come up with like fun little ways to like not show their junk,
Mm-hmm.
Like the one guy, it was some hockey player, and he was just like in a shower and he had a little rubber ducky over his junk. And I'm like, that was adorable. And it made me really happy. Or if like, I don't know, you have puppies around you. I don't know, that's a little weird.
Yeah, puppies around your junk.
Yeah, that
sounds like a band I wouldn't see. Hey, you want to go see puppies around your dick? No.
But yeah, I definitely give points for creativity.
Would you give more points to creativity or sheer massiveness of the junk?
Creativity.
Really?
Yeah.
There you
go. Even if you have small junk, if you're creative with it, especially if you're creative with it and try and make it look bigger.
Does that show a little creativity in other aspects of one's life? And so you sit there and say,
yeah, and maybe they're, they have a little sense of humor to them, which to me makes people more attractive.
exactly, which is why I am the least attractive person in the world. Thank you very much, Alex.
You're welcome.
Again, great bar thought and experience. Now, moving on to 5 takes, where these are my bar thought and experience, except they're done completely sober, hence making me a lot weirder. Quick 5 takes. So I'm driving past my old Little League field in O'Hara Township, Squaw Valley Park, just because I was in the area. And because you have a little bit of a little bit of nostalgia, like, oh, that's where I played Little League and all this kind of stuff. And I see it was the league in which the dads still pitch to the kids. Now, when I was growing up, the dads who would be pitching to the kids were typically just dads that happen to be there. So they'd be wearing jeans and a t-shirt or, whatever. And they'd be pitching the kids. I drive past this. The guy who's pitching to the kids is wearing a full baseball uniform that matches the kids on his team. No, that's not an aw. You're a loser. Okay.
That's cute.
It's a loser.
What if his son asked him to do that?
No way his son is eventually going to do heavy narcotics to forget this moment.
I think it's adorable.
Here's what I think, and this is what I thought of when I drove past this. Most parents sign their kids up for sports and activities not to fill the kids' lives, but to fill their own. They do it, and that's why when your kids quit the sports or the activities and turn to drugs, that's what it makes it sad. It's not like, oh, my kids are turned to drugs, I'm a terrible parent. It's that, oh, now I don't have anything to do because I have empty, meaningless lives.
So are you saying that you would not sign your kid up for football?
If he wants to play, I have to have this.
But he's a kid.
Okay. Oh, no. My son will
do.
not play football until his 7th grade year.
If he wants to.
If he wants
what
to,
you're saying.
yeah. Well, first off, I'm flat out saying unless.
So how do you know those parents didn't do that? They waited until they were old enough to make their own decision, and then that kid wanted his dad to wear a uniform to match him.
I think your scenario is really, really far fetched. My scenario of the dad needs to get a life is spot on.
I think I just have more hope in people.
Yes, I have none. Second take. Why do people want McDonald's to fail? Like every time that McDonald's posts like a bad quarter, people just sit there and say, good, yeah, McDonald's sucks, it's unhealthy and all this kind of stuff. What positive thing do you think is going to happen in life if McDonald's were to close? Nothing. It's not like people would eat healthier. They would just go to another place that is, serving food like hamburgers and milkshakes and all that kind of stuff. And also, McDonald's in a lot of towns is one of the few places where people can get jobs. And also, it's one of the few places that still support like a lot of charities in that area. So, you know what? If you don't like McDonald's, fine, but don't cheer for their demise. Number 3. I can't even read my own writing. All right. Driving in traffic. One of the things that always bothers me about PennDOT is when you drive by traffic and you can't tell exactly what they're doing or why they're doing it. And also there's always like 8 people just sitting around doing nothing. So I want to enact 2 rules. 1, they have signs all around the construction. I want one of the signs explaining what the hell they're doing. Like why they're doing it and why they have to do it now. Okay. And secondly, I want as a citizen and a taxpayer who pays for those roads to have the power to go up to each individual person who's working on the road and asking them point blank, what are you doing here? What is your job?
I think that's nice. I also think that with like police, when they're arresting people, I want to know what's happening. They should just have like a news thing above them and like, this is what's happening. This guy is getting arrested for drugs.
Yes. That's why, honestly, I'm a huge fan of recording the police. I'm a big fan of that. Also, number 4, people in Pittsburgh are weirdly proud of either their kind of blue-collar job or their dad's blue-collar job. I understand that if you sit there and say, hey, my dad was a coal miner and now I'm a doctor, that's kind of cool because you're saying, hey, I've moved on to a profession, or I'm proud of my dad's work ethic. But to just sit there and like go, my dad was a steel worker and I'm just like, dude, at the end of the day, that was a job that like basically everyone got who just had a basic high school diploma. And most of the time it really wasn't that necessarily, it was just a crappy job that, had good benefits for a while because we're the only country that wasn't in rubble after World War II. So quit being so strangely proud of it. Number 5. So I was going to a show in Cooks Forest, Pennsylvania. So I was driving through the middle of like central wooded Western Pennsylvania, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So I've made a decision. If it was a choice between lake house or beach house, I'm going lake house.
I always pick lake house.
Big fan of the lake house.
Yeah.
Your family.
I grew up on the lake. So I didn't grow up on the lake, but we vacationed at the lake. So I'm always more of that. I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone's going to offer me a beach house, I'm definitely going to live there.
I'm not a huge fan of the beach house because all the
So
beaches.
you wouldn't live there if someone was like, hey, here's a free beach house, Mike. You can live here forever.
I don't know. I'd be near hurricanes and stuff, and then I would be near obnoxious people.
It's free. I'd chance it.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. Guess I have different morals than you. That was 5 takes. Now, we're going to end the show with news and notes. These are the stories that are... There you go. These are the stories that maybe have slipped through the cracks. I want you to know them so that you're educated this week on all things important. First off, I think most women would love to hook up with an A-list celebrity, but there was a story about sometimes it can backfire. Orlando Bloom. What is your opinion of Orlando Bloom?
He's pretty.
He's pretty. Also my age again. Prettiest
He's not
man in the world.
Really?
Yeah. Prettiest age.
I didn't know that.
Yes, exactly my age. Literally like a month difference.
Wow.
There you go. So I have age.
Now I'm every time I see you, I'm comparing you to Orlando Bloom.
All of those people that I showed except for Pierce Brosnan, except for like the random models and Pierce Brosnan, like Ryan Reynolds, Joe Manganiello, whatever his name is, Paul Rudd, all those people almost exactly my age, except Paul Rudd's like 45 and I'm younger than that. All right. So Vivian Ross was working at the hotel bar, met Orlando Bloom.
What?
Okay. Outside after work, he was outside, she was outside. They start talking. Orlando Bloom pulls the move. He's like, hey, would you like to come up to my suite? She sits there and says, uh-huh. They go upstairs. They have a few drinks. They do what adults do. Orlando Bloom at the end of the session in the morning walks out to go get the paper, do whatever Orlando Bloom does. Thinking that the room was empty, the manager of the hotel walks in to like take care of things, sees the naked waitress in the bed.
Oh gosh.
Guess what happened to the waitress?
She's fired.
She is fired.
That's stupid. Well, is it? I don't know.
Here's my thing. I didn't think it was that big. First off, she's not working. She's not supposed to be in the place. Who cares who she gets with? But according to them, there was a strict policy of you do not hook up with the guests. But here's another point. I think that this place, it's a 5-star place in London, is going to hurt in terms of business because what super cool A-list actor wants to go to a place where they can't bang all of the available waitresses?
Oh, yeah. She's super hot.
Would you?
I like the picture of her. This looks like she just left the one-night stand.
That's why I kind of picked it as
she just got fired.
Yeah.
And this is her outfit as she's walking out. Love it.
All right. So, Orlando Bloom, would you lose your job for Orlando Bloom, for one night with Orlando Bloom?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like that can't be that good of a job, can it? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're just a waitress at a hotel, you can go be a waitress at another hotel or be a waitress somewhere else or just get a better job.
That's right. Or you could just keep
Like,
hooking
that's
up with A-level celebrities for a living.
Exactly. But I feel like, being a waitress isn't that great. Like, I'll lose that job.
I'm saying no, your current job.
Oh, my current job?
Orlando Bloom walks into your place, sits there and says...
I don't know. They wouldn't know because it's not like in the hotel.
But then they see like a t-shirt and they say, hey, wait a minute. How'd they get the t-shirt? Alex fired. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd do it.
If they put a
you can always get a different job.
That's, you know what? That's what the
and
kids
people who are cool with you sleeping with the customers.
There you
That's
go.
the job I want.
You want a job where it's like, all right, here's the deal. If any A-list actors come in, we expect you to sleep with them.
Yeah, it's like that role with your significant other where you have like the 5 people you can sleep with.
Yeah.
Every business should give their employees that.
I
If
think
this person comes in, then you are allowed to sleep with them.
You would come in with like a list that would look like the U.S. Constitution with everyone signing it. You're like, these are the entire cast of, All right, next off. Brandon Vezamar out of Austin, Texas.
Sounds like a great dude.
No, he's not. All right, basically show his picture of this scumbag. So he takes a woman out on a date, buys a ticket to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in 3D. The woman checks her phone during the movie. He gets incensed, walks out.
Wait, because she checked her phone?
He says she checks it at least 10 times. She claims maybe only 3 or 4. But here's where it becomes really douchey. He is suing her in small claims court, saying he wants his $17.31 back because you were not paying attention to me and or the movie. I want my money back. Again, total scumbag.
You're paying so much money to sue her.
Well, I think she's trying to make a point, because I agree, when you're with someone and they constantly keep checking their phone, you do feel a little bit douchey. Like, oh my God, what, am I that boring that like every 2 seconds you got to be on the phone?
I would just go and say to that person, hey, listen, I kind of feel weird. You keep checking your phone. I feel a little bit hurt that like you came out with me and now you're not really paying attention to me. What's up?
But would you sue them?
No, I wouldn't sue them. That's stupid. Just ask them for your money back if you're really going to be that butthurt about it.
Has someone ever gotten mad at you on a date for checking the phone too much?
No.
Okay.
I'm usually the person that gets angry.
Angry at the phone. What is the phone etiquette? My thing is, if I'm on a date or if I'm with somebody, the phone is in the pocket. And if it is something that I usually tell the person, I'm messaging with my sister, there's something that's up. Like, I tell them why I'm doing that.
I'm not going to be really pissed if you look at your phone a couple times while we're together. If there's like a pause in what we're doing, go ahead, check your phone. I usually always have my phone just face down.
Yes.
So, like, if I did get an important call, I'd be able to answer it,
Like if it was from me, because that it was important show-related stuff. Okay. Next up, man named Richard Goldstein is celebrating a monumental anniversary. He wrote for the New York Times. He was one of the first rock critics of all time, and he's famous for being a man who panned Sgt. Pepper's from the Beatles. He called it cluttered. He called it a miss. He said it was terrible. Now, here's the point that gets me. Fine if you thought it was terrible. It turns out he listened to the album and his stereo was broken. So a lot of the album, which again was in stereo, he didn't hear it correctly.
Yeah.
And this is what proves him to be a douche. He didn't apologize. He said, well, that was my review. What are you going to do? Not like, hey, I should have listened to Sgt. Pepper's on like a stereo that worked. No, he was just kind of like, whatever, who cares? So guess what? Critics are complete douchebags. Also, Bill Cosby is in Pittsburgh. Still. He should be still. They're not done completely yet. But yesterday they started the jury picking. It's really interesting because it was out of the blue that Bill Cosby was in Pittsburgh. And if you don't know why, is because obviously over in near Philadelphia, he's being sued for sexual assault and everything. But I thought it was interesting the fact that they felt they could not get an impartial jury in Philadelphia because he is such a huge icon out there. So they looked at the state of Pennsylvania and went, where else can we go where there is actual diversity to where we could get a jury? So they went to Pittsburgh, which is why he's here. And so a couple Pittsburghers, a couple Yinzers are going to decide if Bill Cosby is going to spend time in jail. What's up?
Man, they were already picking the jury. I was going to say I have jury duty this week.
Do you really?
Wait, wouldn't that be cool if I got Bill Cosby's case?
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, you tell me everything because, it's more important to have a good show than
get arrested?
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't get arrested for the quality of this show?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Someone who hasn't, well, you'd have cool stories. All right. Bishop Zubek, the bishop of the city of Pittsburgh, proving that people are insane over obviously during the Lent holiday in the Catholic religion, you're not supposed to eat meat on Fridays. Well, this year, St. Patrick's Day fell on Friday. So being the cool bishop, he said, hey, this Friday, I'm saying, because I'm the bishop, you can eat meat. So everyone could have their corned beef and cat. But guess what? He has admitted that he has gotten tons of hate mail from angry Catholics saying you are sending the Catholics of Pittsburgh to hell because you're letting them eat meat on Fridays.
How about everyone just decides how they're going to live their life?
How about everyone just...
And doesn't wait for a bishop to tell them that they can eat meat?
Here's my thing. You know what he should have done? You know what next Lent we're going to do? We're going to drink a whole bowl of Settle Down soup. That was news and notes. Now I'm going to do a quick... I'll leave you with this. I saw this. This was kind of cool. Goldman Sachs partner emailed all of the junior partners and talked about his career and what he's learned in his career. And so he showed graphs of his investments and how they went up and went down and went up and went down and all this other kind of stuff. And he sat there and he goes, if you want to eventually make partner, I only have 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, start running. Number 2, when things get tough, keep running. And number 3, when things get tough again, put your head down and keep running. I think that's a pretty good advice. It's one of the pieces of advice that I always use in terms of comedy is Rodney Dangerfield. Like one time he told a comedian and the guy goes, hey, Rodney, what advice could you give me? He goes, you got to be a tank. You got to be able to take all the hits and just keep moving. I hope you take all the hits and just keep moving to next week, where the Mike Sasson Show will be back. I will be a little bit hairier because I will have a beard. Alex will be back with probably another hair color. And thank you very much to Banachek this Saturday, May 27th at the Oaks Theater, 7:30, all ages show. It's an incredible show. Again, check out some YouTube clips. He's absolutely incredible. It's called The Miracles of the Mind. Get the tickets at the Oaks Theater box office or on their website. Incredible stuff, but thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Alex, for being the greatest producer in internet radio history.
You're welcome.
And thank you to the River's Edge for giving us this opportunity. Again, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, on SoundCloud, on everything. Just follow us on everything. Your life will be better. It's the Mike Sasson Show. We'll be back next week. Bye.